Americans pay more for the same insulin vial than any other developed nation, and the system was designed that way. In 2016, a diabetic named Alex Smith rationed his insulin. He used less than prescribed to stretch his supply. At age 26, he died from diabetic ketoacidosis. His mother discovered he'd been skipping doses because a month's supply cost $1,300 out of pocket. That same insulin, made by the same company, sold for under $30 in Canada. The gap wasn't a mistake. It was the inevitable output of a system built on three reinforcing loops: patent monopolies, middleman markups, and regulatory walls that prevent price comparison. Exhibit 1: Patent architecture. When a pharmaceutical company develops a new drug, it receives a patent, typically 20 years from filing. During that window, no generic competitor can legally manufacture it. This isn't incidental. It's the entire business model. Companies spend billions on R&D knowing they'll have a monopoly period to recoup costs and generate profit. The math is straightforward. No competition means no downward pressure on price. But here's where it gets systemic. Drug companies don't just wait for patents to expire. They file new patents on minor variations, a different dosage, a new formulation, a combination with another drug. This practice, called evergreening, extends monopoly periods indefinitely. It's not illegal, it's strategy, and it works. A drug that should lose exclusivity gets repackaged and the clock resets. Exhibit 2: The middleman problem. Most Americans don't pay drug manufacturers directly, they pay through insurance. And between the manufacturer and the patient sits a chain: pharmacy benefit managers, or PBM. These companies negotiate drug prices on behalf of insurers. Sounds reasonable. Except PBMs have a financial incentive to push expensive drugs, because they often receive rebates from manufacturers, and those rebates flow back as corporate profit, not lower premiums. A PBM might negotiate a $200 drug down to $150, pocket a $60 rebate, and pass the $150 cost to the patient. The manufacturer gets paid. The PBM profits. The patient sees only the $150 price tag. This structure creates a hidden economy where the actual price, what the manufacturer receives, is invisible to the person taking the medicine. Exhibit 3: Regulatory isolation. The United States has a unique rule. Medicare, the federal health program for seniors, is prohibited by law from negotiating drug prices directly with manufacturers. This ban was written into law in 2003. It exists nowhere else in the developed world. Every other country's health system, Canada, Germany, Australia, Japan, negotiates as a single buyer. Monopoly power. One customer, many sellers. Prices collapse. America's ban creates an information asymmetry. A drug company knows Medicare can't negotiate. Patients often have insurance. PBMs will extract rebates. Competitors are blocked by patents, so they price at what the market will bear, not what the drug costs to produce. A hepatitis C cure that costs $100 to manufacture sells for $84,000 because the system permits it. These three loops don't exist in isolation, they reinforce each other. Patents block generics so prices stay high. High prices justify high rebates. High rebates incentivize PBMs to steer patients toward expensive drugs. Expensive drugs justify longer patent protections. Patients and employers pay more. Insurance premiums rise. Fewer people fill prescriptions. Health outcomes decline. The system predicted this outcome because it was engineered for it. Consider the historical moment when this became inevitable. The 1980s saw a shift in pharmaceutical strategy. Before then, companies saw drugs as public health solutions with reasonable markups. After the Bayh-Dole Act of 1980, universities could patent research funded by federal grants. Drug development became explicitly financialized. Patents weren't safety nets, they were profit centers. The 2003 Medicare ban didn't emerge from economic theory. It was written by politicians under pharmaceutical lobbying pressure. The industry spent $150 million on lobbying that year alone. They argued that price negotiation would stifle innovation. The argument won. What wasn't discussed? Every other wealthy nation has price negotiation and still funds drug innovation. So why do Americans accept this? Partly because the cost is hidden. Insurance obscures the price at the pharmacy counter. Employers shield workers from the full premium increases. The pain is distributed, not concentrated. No single person sees the $84,000 hepatitis cure, they see a $30 carpay. The system is designed to be invisible until you're rationing insulin. The evidence is now overwhelming. Americans spend $400 billion annually on prescription drugs, nearly twice per capita what Germans or Canadians spend for the same medicines. That's $200 per person per year in excess spending. Where does it go? Patents extend margins. PBMs extract rebates. Manufacturers maintain monopoly pricing. Insurance premiums climb. Everyone in the chain profits except the patient. This system wasn't accidental. It was built incrementally through policy choices, patent law, regulatory isolation, rebate structures, lobbying power. Each piece alone might seem reasonable. Together, they form a feedback loop that guarantees high prices, and once you see the loop, you can't unsee it. The collapse of affordability wasn't a surprise, it was predictable from the moment these policies aligned. What's crucial to understand, this isn't a market failure. Markets work exactly as designed when one side has information, patents, and regulatory protection, and the other side has neither. It's a system failure. The rules were written to produce this outcome. Alex Smith's death wasn't a tragedy that slipped through, it was the system working as intended. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research. Subscribe so you don't miss the next deep dive into the systems that shape how the world actually works. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research.